Yo, what it do? It's your boy IamTeeLee, and I'm back with another fire video today. We got another episode of Dr. Insanity. A female cop gets caught seducing inmates. I know y'all hear this around town a lot, but to see it in action.
Charlene O'Banion, a prison officer being accused of sleeping with an inmate.
You felt me, I was like soaking through my clothes.
After hearing rumors from other officers that had seen her and Jason Parker together, an investigation was opened up. Charlene thinks she flew under the radar and got away, but what she doesn't know is that the detectives have all the evidence they need, and they're about to expose and embarrass her in the most brutal way possible.
You got a lot of that head game. Oh, man.
Right from the start, Charlene to expose is that the detectives have all the evidence they need, and they're about to expose and embarrass her in the most brutal way possible.
You got a lot of that head game. Oh, man.
Right from the start, Charlene plays innocent and pretends she doesn't know anything about the allegations.
We're notified of a possible improper relationship.
Now, how you gonna try to play dumb after you know you didn't get caught?
So we're here for that. I just kind of want to talk to you about it and get your side of that story. Okay. Have you talked to him on any jail?
Cut it, lady. They have evidence. You can't run anymore. You a freaky frog.
Phone calls or anything like that?
No.
Not at all.
Charlene is sure that this will work, but the detectives have much more evidence than they're letting on.
And where would you think that this allegation would come from if there's nothing to it?
Well, I had a feeling this was coming. So there was an inmate named Coker, Justin Coker.
Okay.
He got out of here for, I don't know what period of time. And he tried to contact me on Facebook. He sent me a message and I blocked him on Facebook. And I guess one time Parker was going back to Pequot to use the bathroom, and he was talking like at the window with me. And I guess Coker like didn't like that, which I had no contact with him or anything. And Parker had told me that he had gone up to him and was like, "Don't talk to her," or something crazy like that.
So I'm just not trying to be rude here. I'm just.
Yeah.
Why would you expect this conversation to come up from that, like now, if that happened a few months ago?
Charlene claims that the only time she's had contact with Jason was a single time outside the jail bathroom, and it was a jealous inmate that started the rumor. But the detective is about to share some evidence that instantly proves that Charlene is hiding something.
Checkmate.
I don't know exactly how it started, like where it started from, but I was told that it was brought to somebody's attention, and then we looked at jail calls. And there's jail calls between you and Parker, and all that stuff's recorded. So I don't think you're being completely truthful. I kind of know that you're not, and I'm not trying to be rude when I say that.
Yeah, no.
I'm just kind of trying to lay it out on the table for you. So can you kind of tell me what's going on?
I guess a few years ago we talked, and then I ended up here. And then
So now y'all ended up talking.
I didn't know he was here. I didn't it wasn't anything like that.
Apparently, Charlene and Jason knew each other before prison and messed around before they both ended up here. This led to them joking around with each other here, but nothing else. Or at least, that's what she claims. In reality, the cops have recorded phone calls from inside the prison that tell a completely different story.
So what about some of these phone conversations?
Can't hide.
No, not here or the phone.
I just mean conversations you are having on the phone.
No.
Since he's been in here.
Like sexual?
Well, I'm not saying having phone sex, talking about sexual acts. From what I'm listening to on the calls, I take it as that you've given him oral sex at some point, is what I gather from these calls.
Yes, she has.
No, that was like in the world. But we never dated. We just...
Okay. What kind of conversations have you had with him since you started working here and he's been in the jail?
Talking about what would happen after he got out.
And then the jail call recordings, have you been talking to him like while you're at home? Like he calls you from the jail while you're at home? Or... Okay.
Just 15 minutes into this interrogation, Charlene's original story is seeming less and less like the truth. She's been caught in multiple lies, admitted to having sexual relations with Jason in the past, and calling him regularly from her own home. This is highly irregular behavior for a prison officer, and it doesn't take a genius to realize something deeper may be going on. But the detective has some more questions pertaining to some more physical evidence.
I haven't listened to this, but apparently there may be some talk in the calls about, like, photographs. Have you given him any photographs?
You sure?
I gave him a photograph of his mom, which she had asked for, and of his dog, Jax.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you given him any photographs of you?
No, because
If they asking, they already know. You might as well just come clean.
Has there been any times where y'all were alone?
Stupid.
Or you go out of camera view or anything like that? Anything that's going to look suspicious that way?
I don't think so.
It's important to remember that Charlene has worked at this prison for a while now, and as such will know all the ins and outs of everything such as security camera blind spots and patrol officer schedules. You'd think that with all this knowledge, it'd be easy to hide a relationship with an inmate, but it seems that she forgot about a few vital pieces of information. Not least the facts that all phone calls placed from the prison are recorded. But thanks to the detectives, she's about to be reminded of this fact in a devastating way.
Hey, baby. Baby, guess what?
What, baby?
I just won the blackjack game.
Yay.
I just won $30.
I got a lot of stuff to clean and get rid of before you come home. I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking with you. I was trying to make you think I have all these secrets.
Yeah, I bet you do.
What?
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 I don't know, you probably got this weird sex swing hanging from the ceiling. Kenneth probably thinks it's a swing set.
Oh, if I had that sex swing, you better believe I'd leave that sucker up for you.
Would you really?
Hell yeah.
You let me put you in it?
Yeah.
With a gag ball and everything?
Yeah, babe.
Listening to your own voice can be bad enough for some
She a freaky frog, for real. Indeed, she's a freaky frog.
people, but listening to your own sexual phone calls in silence with two detectives in the room as you realize you've just been caught red-handed has got to be worse than any prison sentence there is. However, with the language they've used so far, there's no evidence that the pair have actually engaged in any sexual acts. But that changes quickly as Jason begins to directly incriminate Charlene on the call.
Oh, shit.
I just want you to look at me sometimes and be like, damn, my woman's fine.
Fine wine. And you got a live-ass fucking head game. Oh, man.
It wasn't my best moments. I was just trying to get it done.
Are you in bed?
Don't you get me thinking about that because it makes me so horny. Like just going back and thinking about
Yeah.
that.
You get your word?
Oh, yeah. You felt me. I was like soaking through my clothes. You get very horny very easy. I always want to have sex. Like, that's not even...
Not good.
I mean, it's not like I just like look at someone and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so fucking horny. No, like of course, like I only get horny for you.
You kind of see how that sounds from like my point of view. Like a more recent thing.
She needs Jesus.
The audacity she has to say no after hearing that phone call is truly remarkable. But her credit, she's not going down easily. The detectives try asking her if she thinks Jason would cover for her, and she still doesn't break, sticking to her story that everything that happened outside of prison. Technically, this story could still be true with this phone call, but it definitely is odd for the couple to be recounting events from over 3 years ago in such detail, especially when earlier she struggled to remember any details about their relationship.
You talk about how profound this was. Like, just giving him this blowjob was, but you like don't remember anything.
So you don't remember where you put your mouth at? She don't remember where she put her mouth at. Okay.
Nothing but you're having trouble coming up with details, but you know what I mean? Like if it's that
I
profound.
mean, I gave him a blowjob. How do you describe the blowjob? I mean, is that
Well,
what you
I
want me to
don't know, like about the blowjob, and just so if this is a
just said
factual thing that happened 3 years ago, I feel like you would kind of remember some stuff about it. Like I
Yeah,
feel
I mean, like we said in the car, we, you know.
like when I asked you who was there, him of course, like when y'all met or whatever, and then when I asked like who else, you said it was like a bunch of friends, but like you can remember one
I mean,
kid's
that was
name
my
after
friend
you
Chris.
think about it for 30 seconds. So
Yeah, I mean,
that's
I was-
not making sense to me.
You seem to have blanks in your memory when we get to certain details, but you remember being groped in a blowjob from 3 years ago. I find that hard to believe. Okay? This is your one chance to be honest with us.
Yes.
Once we get up and walk out and we're done, we're done. Have y'all had any inappropriate contact, whether it's groping, blowjobs, vaginal, anal sex, anything, hand jobs? Yes, I am being vulgar to get a point across.
Yeah, no, it's not. None of that.
Just as the detectives say, things really aren't adding up. Yet she's still sticking to her story. Or at least she was, before a switch flipped and she said this.
What is it?
I might have given him a blowjob in the back part of me.
And what is it?
I might have.
Wow.
Given him a blowjob in the back part of me.
In that part of the quad? Okay. How long ago was that?
Months ago.
The secret's out, and Charlene has confessed. But this matter is more complex than it may seem. In cases of officer-inmate relations, the main question that arises is the issue of consent. Given that Jason and Charlene knew each other prior to being in prison, it's not wrong to assume that consent went both ways in this interaction. However, in these cases, that's actually completely irrelevant. According to a 2005 report, federal law criminalizes all sexual relations and contact between prison staff and inmates, and that all sexual relations between staff and inmates are considered abuse, even if the act would have been considered consensual if it occurred outside of a prison. This is because of the huge amount of inmate abuse that was observed in prisons. In 1996, it was estimated that between 12 and 14% of all prison inmates had been sexually assaulted, and the officers were rarely punished. So to prevent this, a zero-tolerance policy was introduced to try and prevent abuse towards inmates. A policy, it seems, that Charlene completely ignored.
I'm gonna ask, but I feel like I know the answer. I'm losing my job.
So that's not really up to me. Internal Affairs is aware investigation is separate from ours because it's two totally different things. So
Yeah. What kind of charges? Like,
so it's illegal to have sexual contact with an inmate as an employee. So I said the ball kind of be in their court, but I'll let you know as soon as I hear something.
I mean, should I go to jail?
That's up to the DA's office.
As it turns out, Charlene would lose her job, and the only time she'd ever be allowed back in jail would be for the 100 days that she'd be made to serve after being found guilty of sexual activity with a person in custody.
A bitch was threatening to send me.
Appreciate y'all for watching, man. Yeah, shorty a freaky frog, man. But appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure y'all subscribe, turn on post notification bell, follow me on all social medias, man. We're on the road to 100K. Let's go.
What you gonna do now?